So I had absolutely world-ending diarrhea. I was spraying. I'm not going to be gross. I'm not going to be gross, okay, because I'm mature. I'm a father. But I was absolutely, unequivocally spraying water out of my asshole, okay? Like hot, yellow, burning water, okay? Tell me about your sandwich.
It's like they want to force you. If you're going to get this fucking sandwich,
Well, yeah,
fat ass, you're going to have to say publicly in front of other people, let me have a gargantuan
Give
sandwich.
me the giant gargantuan.
The giant gargantuan. Literally, that's what I had to say. I want the JJ gargantuan giant size.
The whole build up to that was what's on that sandwich, and the answer is nothing interesting, everything you would expect on a normal sandwich. Did I tell you about the sandwich cult thing?
I would join a sandwich cult.
If you're going to be a cult, having sandwiches be like...
It's a good...
That's a really good, like, oh, we're going to kind of hang our hat on the sandwich thing. And then we'll, you know, come for the sandwiches, stay for the cult.
Rank your favorite sandwich chain restaurants. If you're making a sandwich yourself, or like not a specific restaurant sandwich, just like what's your go-to favorite type of sandwich? Rank the types of diarrhea that you have.
Well, I can tell you that the most recent one was my least favorite. If I'm at home and I'm going to make a sandwich, I don't really like to get too fancy. I like to do, you know, 2 meats, usually turkey and salami, but I'll mix it up if we have something different. Anyways, point is, my favorite sandwich.
Wow, that was a long road.
That's what I make usually. What about you?
I do get fancy when I make sandwiches at home.
Go on.
I love a good, like, full sub sandwich with multiple meats and cheeses and all the veggies and peppers and onions and stuff.
See, I don't like a big sandwich, though.
Oh, I love a big
That's
sandwich.
the thing. Like, I
love going into a sandwich shop like Jersey Mike's or JJ's and leaving with a sandwich so huge you have to cradle it in your arm like an infant.
that you're embarrassed to order it, you mean?
But I still feel good.
What,
I feel like I'm holding a baby.
But what do you do about the ratio?
What do you mean the ratio?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Of bread to everything
Yeah,
else?
like...
You think there's too much of everything else?
I'm saying...
Bread is a vessel for meat and cheese.
All right, no. I knew you were going to get like this. I fucking knew it. Okay, hear me out before you fucking flip your lid over the sandwich situation. What I'm saying is, there has to be...
You think I don't know how to control my own ratios?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you're getting so fancy, how are you to make sure that your ratios are correct?
What do you mean correct?
I'm saying that there's
preference.
No, okay. The idea of a ratio, by its very definition, unless I'm mistaken, is that there's some sort of measure against each other. Fuck! God, I thought I was going to hit you with that, and I got upset. The point, look, I'm saying, how do you do it if there's too much, like, what if you put too much fucking vegetables on it, and then it just tastes like vegetables?
I know how to balance my foods.
But if you put too many things and ratio it correctly, then you're going to have a big sandwich.
I like a big sandwich.
But then it's hard to eat.
Not if your mouth is big enough.
Well, are you saying that your
big
mouth is bigger than mine? Is that where we're at now?
Probably. I still have all my wisdom teeth because my dentist told me I have more room in my mouth than the average person.
I also have all my wisdom teeth. And
all right.
It's because...
So I guess the only way to settle this is to have a
Kiss.
mouth off.
Yeah, we have to kiss. You start. You kiss me first, and then I'll kiss you. I told you the diarrhea thing was not contagious. I'm pretty sure that it was food
When I
poisoning.
came over here, I told Louisa I'm going to go hang out with Luke. She goes, okay, that's fine. Just don't touch him.
Well, she's going to be really cross when she finds out we kiss. It's not contagious. Tell Louisa it's not contagious. I know
Okay.
she's like a medical professional, but believe me, I can just tell her it's not. Go ahead. Anyways, I knew you were going to get all upset. I'm making a good point. I want you to acknowledge it. The sandwich can't be...
You're not making
It's not about
I know
the
how
bread.
to control the ratio.
But if you put too many things on, the size of the bread is finite. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So if the bread is finite, the more ingredients you put on, even with the correct ratio, that means that eventually you will start to override the bread.
Do I need to tell you how many sandwiches I've made in my life? I know where the line is, and I know how to walk right up to that line and not cross
You
it.
just like to live on the edge.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry that we're
I want to
fighting.
get the most out of my sandwiches. I worked at a tropical smoothie cafe and made sandwiches every day.
What kind
in
of
high school.
sandwiches are at a tropical smoothie cafe?
There are flatbreads, there are ciabatta buns, 12 grains, wraps.
Then you
everything.
really got to talk about the ratios. I
Yeah.
mean, Christ.
Mm-hmm. And their ratios were too skimpy. It was
Wow.
not a filling sandwich that they made.
I'm really sorry that we had to
That's
fight
the
on
problem
camera.
with most sandwiches, is that there's not enough on the inside.
Do you
It's
forgive
all
me?
bread. I forgive you if you take back your slanderous ratio claims.
I guess I really have to see your work before I can
Alright.
truly give it back.
Do you feel like
take
the
it
sandwich
back.
I was eating, that JJ one, was too big?
It was getting there. But to me, it looked like there was some type of
How do you still have all your life? This is not a good matchup.
fuck. See, I just lost one. I just love your willingness to celebrate immediately after you make an observation that you're getting absolutely wrecked. But it's okay.
I
It's
can
because
still win this.
this is not what this is about. See, that sandwich conversation, that's what I envisioned when I created this company. Okay?
Von Wolfbrain LLC.
Yeah, we probably should do that. Oops, 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 oops. Anyways. Yeah, look, I gotta tell you too, those burgers, that probably were not the thing that gave me food poisoning. But I know that might feel like a long time ago because it was, because I had diarrhea for 6 full days.
Yeah.
But those burgers were very good. Do that.
Thank you.
What are we at? 29? We could do one more, unless you're getting upset.
No, let's do it.
This will be
I
the
have more sandwich talk in me.
this will be the diarrhea. This this is obviously going to be called diarrhea sandwich.
Yep. Uh-huh. I'm gonna reinsert that soundbite of you saying, "Look, I'm not into gross out humor." Right after saying that.
It's not gross out humor if I was spraying yellow spray out of my ass. It's not gross. It's medical. It's okay, Meacham. I'm okay. You just made my dog come down here because he was so worried about me.
Aw.
Because he knew that you were challenging the fact that I had like wet strings of little like yellow and green diarrhea.
This is very graphic. I also had food poisoning once.
How'd you like it?
I hated it. It was when I was doing my summer internship in London, like over a decade ago now. And
Man, we're old.
Yeah, I know. It was
It's okay, Meacham.
either from where the fuck? Okay.
This is not a good place for you, by the way.
Nope. Well, no place is, but I got food poisoning from either a jerk chicken wrap or a Turkish sausage wrap, and I have no way of knowing which it was because I ate them both at once in immediate succession.
If you had to guess.
The sausage one.
So, okay.
Because I got them both from separate food trucks at a food truck festival in London in the middle of a heat wave, which was probably not a good idea for food trucks.
So, look, and again, I don't want to just talk about diarrhea all night, but I feel like this bears repeating. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if I got some of, like, my daughter's little tiny, because she also had little yellow stringy diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't diarrhea, it was just baby poop, but baby poop's gross. But anyways, I feel like I got some of that on, like, my hand, and then obviously I washed my hands. But, maybe. I'll never tell.
It's a fucking nightmare of a course.
I
Why
know, it's
did
the
anyone
worst.
design this?
It's so
God
stupid.
damn it.
So I don't know if it was that, but I also had Biscuitville the night after we had Earl's.
Yeah.
So it could have been any combination of Earl's, Biscuitville. Also, the night before Earl's, I accidentally ate an entire ACP from a Mexican place. So careful
What
there.
the fuck? God damn it! I hate this course.
You want to just stop this one and do another one?
No, we're too far in.
I mean, are we?
Yeah.
You're dead.
But yeah, I got food
I don't
poisoning.
know
It was
what-
my
what
last
gave it
week
to
in
me.
London, so I was wrecked all week. I could not leave the flat, which sucked because I had saved for the last week. I was going to do like
All the fun
all
shit.
all the Beatles stuff. I was going to go to like Liverpool and do the tour. And
How far is Liverpool from London? I
it's
have
not too
honestly
far,
no idea.
but like I was there for 2 months. I was like, I'm going to save this best thing for last.
Aw.
Cap on my trip, and I didn't get to go.
That's
I was
fucking sad.
nervous that I'd even make it to the airport in the cab. Honestly, just even the night before.
Wait,
I
so
was,
what did you do on the plane?
Luckily, it cleared up like that morning when I came back home to America.
That's where
But
I
the
am
night
right now.
the night before, I was still like fucked up.
So wait,
And,
how long?
and I
did it-
still have not eaten jerk chicken or Turkish sausage.
Yeah.
Since then.
I mean, how often do you run into those? Well, I guess jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken is.
But how often did you run into Turkish sausage?
Not often.
What? How long did that last though? Like, how long did you have food poisoning for?
I mean, I was on the toilet for like a full week,
Okay.
or close to a full week.
So I guess
Probably
that-
about the same length as you.
I guess that
It
does
sounds like
track.
what you had was food poisoning. Don't go in the door. I don't want to see the fairy again.
You,
Fuck.
You have to see the ferry. You don't have a choice.
I thought it was only if you went through the door. or
No,
something.
this is just some nonsense bullshit. What are you trying to get? Did you watch the new Ricky Gervais stand-up that he got in trouble for?
No.
Do you not like Ricky Gervais?
I liked him in The Office, and I liked some of his stuff that I've seen. But from my understanding, it seems like his stand-up is very like, you can't tell jokes about things anymore because PC police. Bleh."
It didn't used to be like that, but now you're absolutely right, it is. But
I just have no patience for white comedians whining about people not thinking they're funny and that they shouldn't say offensive stuff.
well, so that's a good question though. I mean, I don't know. You think that he shouldn't? I'm saying he in general, in because I forget the joke that got him in trouble. It was something really.
Wasn't it a transphobic thing?
Yeah. It's like the same thing that happened to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
It's literally almost word for word the same thing, which is obviously intentional. He just did it. He, being Ricky Gervais, did it because he knew it was going to be on Netflix and he wanted to stoke controversy and also try to make his point,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if you're telling an actual, like, I don't know. I don't think you should be offensive for the sake of being offensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of feel, I mean, there's a part of that, and you're going to not agree. It's okay, Bob. You're probably not going to agree with me, but there is a part of that I kind of agree with, where it's like, if you're being a comedian in earnest and you're saying something that happens to offend people.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think that with a lot of these, I'm not going to say all of them, but I don't think with
Do you want
many
to
of these.
do you want to hold that thought next time on Von Wolfbrand, or do you want to do one more? so you
Let's
can
do
make your
one
point?
more
Okay.
and get this out of the way so we never talk about it again.
Why?
Just
Because you're mad that I'm making such a valid point.
No, I think that that's not necessarily the case with a lot of these comedians.
That I agree with.
That they're not just like, oh, I'm just, telling jokes. I didn't set out to offend anybody or whatever. I think they know what they're doing and they're trying to. It's almost like they're making point.
They're using the platform to make that point and be like, to kind of like hedge it and be like, oh, I'm just being a comedian, but you
Yeah,
think
but they're
saying it.
legitimately homophobic or transphobic or whatever. Or they don't need to make those. If you're a comedian, you got plenty of material you can work with. You don't have to use the stuff you know is going to offend people. And there's plenty of comedy out there that is not offensive in that way. And I know that there's the argument that like, oh, all comedy is offensive in some respect, but I'm not sure I necessarily believe that.
I actually don't believe that either.
But beyond that, like, who? I think the main question is, who is your punchline? Who are you punching at? And if you're punching down, that's just, I'm never really okay with that. You should always be punching up, never punching down. So it's like, do we really need to make jokes at the expense of the trans community? Like, is that something we should really be doing at all? Regardless of whether it's, just in humor or whatever. Or if there are those jokes that are existing, who's making it? Are you a straight white cisgender man? Then
so can
the
can
optics
somebody
of it don't look good.
Can somebody in that?
Yeah, I think within the community,
You think people can make those
it's
jokes?
more acceptable for sure. Yeah. but because it's not punching down, you're
so
punching
you don't
across.
think necessarily it's the joke that becomes offensive, it's the source.
Yes and no. I think the source definitely plays into it, but I think it depends on the joke too, and sometimes it can be a little protective little mine in front of you, like a chicken.
I don't know why this matchup is working against me a little bit,
I don't either.
but it's upsetting me, so I'm trying to make sure I don't get killed by being really shitty. No, I see your point. I do.
Yeah. And so then when people like Jerry Seinfeld and Ricky Gervais and all them are complaining, college kids have ruined comedy, you can't see jokes anymore because everyone gets mad. No, that's not the case.
I think that's equally as stupid as a statement because I don't necessarily, I mean, like things also change, which is something that
exactly
people do.
Like back when you were in your heyday
Right.
and you were, big shit, there were things that were, kind of taboo to make jokes about and that were like basically accepted by people is not okay, that you shouldn't make jokes about. And that has changed, and they don't like that it has changed, and they can't make the same kind of jokes they used to be able to, or they feel personally attacked. And I don't know. I don't really have much patience for the whiny white comedian who's like, I can't tell jokes anymore.
So what did you make of the Dave Chappelle thing?
I actually didn't watch the special, and I don't know the exact content of the joke that landed him in trouble.
It was actually, so this was a while ago that I've watched this, and also this was before the throes of the diarrhea that I just had.
Yeah.
But it was less of a particular joke, and it was more of like, he couched like the entire thing as like, I got in trouble for these jokes once. And then he made like an argument basically like the last half of the show about how it was, basically that obviously he thinks that he shouldn't have gotten in trouble. He's absolutely going to come down here with that. This is actually exactly what Dave Chappelle did when he found out he got in trouble. He just picked up a squeaky toy and started. Everyone's like, aw. Oh my god, Kev, if you beat me a snake, I'm going to be actually pissed. I almost don't want to talk anymore. Oh my god. But basically he was just kind of like, oh, I made these jokes in the past and I got, in trouble for it, and I think that's bullshit, and here's why. And he basically like did this whole thing, and the crux of it was like, well, he had a trans friend who loved what he did.
But isn't that the exact same thing as, I'm not racist, I have black friends?
It is, but then he also was like, also she either killed herself, or I think it was that she killed herself. And that was like his like, oh, see, and he's like, and I'm not the reason that oh shit, see, I'm fucking this up, and it was an interesting argument, though I wouldn't want to take a side because I don't really know, but he was like, it wasn't me and my jokes that made her kill herself or lose sight of whatever. It was because her own community turned on her because she supported me, and they didn't agree with what I did. So they turned on one of their own who allegedly had nowhere else to go because of her support for me. And that was kind of him being like, his point was being like, it's not jokes or culture, it's people or something like that. I don't know. I think you would find it interesting.
Yeah, but isn't that also like similar to racism is just people racist? It's not a systemic problem. Like, I get what he's saying. I just don't agree with it. And I feel like also if someone says, hey, your jokes were offensive, I didn't appreciate that.
You have to accept it.
Yes, you don't get to determine what's offensive or not to a community that you're not a part of. You just have to own up to it and say, okay, like, how can I understand how to be better? Instead of doubling down and trying to defend yourself. That's like never the move.
Well, and maybe that's the problem more than anything else, is because I'm not on like social media.
Yeah, me neither.
But my understanding is that, I mean, basically everything is just a spectacle at this point. So it's like, why would you do anything other than double down? Because the whole thing that you're trying to do is defend your position and pretend like, oh my god, Kev, you're going to win. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to lose. Fuck me. Oh Oh my
I love it when I
God.
win the last one too. Whatever point
And
you're
I
gonna
was
make,
Snake.
you can.
It's okay, bud. I know.
It's because I was fighting with
You
self-righteous.
were fighting with me, who was I was standing up for all the white comedians. Who
I
make
was fighting with the
cruel
fury
jokes.
of standing up for the oppressed, and that's what
Well,
enabled me to win.
I'm glad that we ended this particular one with that because we started off basically only talking
diarrhea
about my
to-
diarrhea. So there you go. Okay, that's.
All right.
I think that's a good way to end it.
All right.
Jesus. Fuck.
Thank you for watching Von Wolf Brain. This is Stephen Hawking's cousin, Stephen Eagle Ing. I am just as smart as him and more alive than him, and I watch Von Wolf Brain every day and I love it. Oh god, I love it. Please consume more content. Click here. Or here. Or here. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. Love, Von Wolf Brain.